What if the fate of an entire state hinged not on diplomacy, not on grand speeches, but on the strength of its soldiers? What if the key to lasting power lies not in alliances or wealth, but in the iron discipline of an army and the sharpness of a commander's mind? For Niccolò Machiavelli, one of the most influential political thinkers in history, military power was not just an accessory to politics, it was its very backbone. Without a strong military, no prince or republic could hope to survive, let alone thrive. Today, we explore Machiavelli's unwavering belief in the indispensable role of military strength, especially as articulated in his seminal work, The Art of War. How does military power fit into his broader political theory? And why did Machiavelli see it as the foundation of political survival? Welcome to Unfolding Journey, where we unravel the ideas and texts that have shaped human history. If you love diving deep into philosophy, history, and political thought, you're in the right place. Don't forget to subscribe and join our community of curious minds ready to challenge the status quo. To understand Machiavelli's focus on military power, we must first consider the world he lived in. The late 15th and early 16th centuries were a turbulent time for Italy. The peninsula was fragmented into city-states and principalities: Florence, Venice, Milan, Naples, and the Papal States, often locked in conflict. Foreign invasions were common, and internal strife made political survival a constant challenge. Machiavelli witnessed firsthand the dangers of political weakness. The French invasions, the Medicis' return to power, and the shifting alliances all underscored a brutal truth. Without a strong military, no ruler or republic could defend itself from conquest or collapse from internal disorder. His career as a diplomat and military official gave him practical insight into the art of war, not as an abstract ideal, but as a daily necessity. In The Prince and Discourses on Livy, Machiavelli repeatedly insists that military power is essential for acquiring, maintaining, and defending political authority. He famously argues that rulers who rely on mercenaries or auxiliaries, soldiers hired from outside or borrowed from other rulers, are doomed to fail. Why? Because such forces lack loyalty, discipline, and the motivation to defend the state's interests. They fight for pay, not patriotism. Instead, Machiavelli advocates for a strong national army composed of citizens themselves, a military force tied directly to the survival of the state and willing to fight with dedication. This is not just about defense, but also about legitimacy and independence. A ruler who controls his own military forces can act decisively and maintain autonomy from foreign powers. The Art of War, published in 1521, is Machiavelli's most detailed work on military theory. Written as a dialogue, it combines classical military ideas with practical advice tailored to Renaissance Italy's realities. Here are some key points Machiavelli makes. War is a natural state of human affairs, and politics cannot be separated from it. Peace is fragile and often a prelude to new conflict. Military preparedness is a constant duty, not something to be neglected in times of peace. Citizen soldiers are superior to mercenaries. They have a personal stake in the outcome of battles, and their loyalty is unwavering. The art of war is a science and a craft. It requires knowledge, discipline, training, and strong leadership. Military innovation and adaptation are critical. Armies must evolve with changing technology and tactics. Machiavelli believed that military power shaped not only the fate of rulers, but also the character of a state. A republic with a well-trained militia was more likely to be virtuous, united, and free. Machiavelli's emphasis on military strength ties directly into his broader ideas about political stability. He argued that without control over military force, rulers are vulnerable to both external enemies and internal factions. Military power is a deterrent against invasion, but also a tool for maintaining order within the state. When the military is strong and loyal, the ruler's authority is secure. If it is weak or divided, chaos and rebellion become inevitable. This belief extended beyond princes to republics as well. In Discourses on Livy, Machiavelli praises the Roman Republic's citizen militias as the secret to its longevity and success. The citizens' military service fostered civic virtue, patriotism, and unity. Thus, military power was not just an instrument of domination, but also a foundation for collective identity and political resilience. Military power alone is not enough. Leadership is key. Machiavelli's concept of virtù, a mixture of courage, decisiveness, intelligence, and adaptability, is central to his military theory. Successful commanders are those who can read the situation, seize opportunity, and inspire their troops. Virtù allows a leader to overcome the unpredictability of fortune, fortuna, turning chance into advantage. Historical examples like Cesare Borgia illustrate this dynamic. Borgia's military skill and ruthlessness allowed him to consolidate power in Italy, showing the close link between military prowess and political success. Machiavelli's admiration for skilled military leadership highlights the human element in warfare. It is not just numbers and weapons, but strategy and willpower that decide outcomes. Why does Machiavelli's focus on military power still matter? Even in our modern world of diplomacy, economic sanctions, and international law, the role of military strength remains critical. Nations with strong defense capabilities maintain sovereignty and influence on the global stage. Machiavelli's insistence on a self-reliant military force resonates in contemporary debates about national security and military spending. Moreover, his understanding of the link between military power, political legitimacy, and social cohesion continues to inform both democratic and authoritarian regimes. His insights remind us that politics is not just about ideals, but about power, often backed by force, and that the security of a state depends fundamentally on its ability to defend itself. Niccolò Machiavelli's political theory cannot be fully understood without appreciating the central role he gives to military power. Far from being a side issue, military strength is the cornerstone of political authority, survival, and stability. Through his works, especially The Art of War, Machiavelli laid the intellectual foundation for viewing war and military preparedness as inseparable from governance. He challenges rulers to embrace the harsh realities of power, to build armies loyal not to paymasters but to the state itself, to cultivate virtue in their leaders, and to accept that war, in one form or another, is an inevitable part of politics. In a world where power and security are still deeply intertwined, Machiavelli's lessons remain as relevant today as they were 500 years ago. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Machiavellian political theory. If you found this exploration thought-provoking, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps us grow. And if you want more journeys into history's most influential ideas, don't forget to subscribe to Unfolding Journey and ring the notification bell so you never miss an episode. Until next time, stay curious, stay thoughtful, and keep unfolding the journey.